Korean Tang and Noodle House in Rowland Heights is a fairly new restaurant and the scene of the next eating challenge featuring myself and Raina Is Crazy. The owner thought it'd be cool to see us throw down on a 10-pound spread of beef short ribs, rice, kimchi, fish cake, pickled onions, melted cheese, and assorted vegetables. This was a serious feast. Would we dominate the deliciousness in front of us, or would we come up a little short and face the long ride home? No fanfare, no BS, no Stalin. It's time for a challenge.
Okay, so, are you guys ready to see this? Yeah? Alright, so can you guys give us a countdown from 10? Yeah. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's dig in. Oh, that meat just melts. Oh my goodness. And the cheese.
It doesn't all have like bone, right? Some does and some doesn't?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just has bone.
This sandwich is really healthy. We have pumpkin and lots of veggies in here.
Welcome back to another freak eating challenge. This was definitely not the usual cuisine I'd come to expect from doing eating challenges. The owner of Korean Tang and Noodle House set this up with Raina, and they asked for my participation, for which I am grateful. This is food I'd never eaten before, and it's always a treat when I get to try something new. The main dish in front of us is called Kalbi-jim, basically beef ribs cooked on the bone in a pan until they become extremely tender. This was easily some of the most tender and velvety beef I'd eaten in my life. Some of it hardly needed chewing, and it really fell off the bone, or you could pull it off without trouble. The main bowl contained these tender beef ribs, as well as pumpkin, potato, sweet cakes, which were chewy, and a savory sauce that gave everything a slightly meaty taste. I can't fully describe the flavor of the sauce, but it was distinctively meaty, not at all spicy, and it's something I'd never eaten prior. But it was something I could eat a lot of without getting sick of it. It made an excellent addition to the white rice that was served on the separate plate. As time went on, we would both mix the rice into our main bowls, although the way we did so varied considerably. I know there's a few of you who watch my channel who have complained in the comments about the way Raina eats her food, but this time she was extremely neat. Part of that, from what she told me during and after the challenge, is that this is food she eats regularly, and so she knows how to eat it effectively with no fuss. She joked with me about having the Asian advantage on this challenge. As you can see, she's also using chopsticks, whereas I was using a fork, eating this stuff like an out-of-towner. I guess it's really time for me to learn the chopstick game. It's ironic when you consider that sushi is my favorite food and a type of cuisine where chopsticks are pretty much the norm. I try using chopsticks every time I eat sushi at a sushi house, and while it's a struggle, I can use them competently enough to get through my meal. I wouldn't trust my chopstick skills on a challenge though. Gonna need a little more practice before I risk that. Now, I could tell you stories about some of my friends, American friends, who eat sushi with a fork, but I'm happy to tell you that's not something that I do. I prefer to go in barehanded. As far as this food goes, it was delectable. It was a true pleasure to discover it through competitive eating, and very honestly, this is something I could eat again and again. No challenge required. My hat goes off to Raina for showing me this place. She had described the Korean beef ribs to me as something approaching a delicacy. Most portions might give you 3 or 4 ribs in a serving, so being able to eat a dozen or more was a special treat. These aren't the portions I'd recommend for actual eating, if you've never tried them before, but if you are going to do a ridiculous challenge, you do well to pick foods that taste this great. Raina made it seem like she wasn't rushing, but she was keeping up a decent pace. The rice made her feel a bit full towards the middle, mostly because she doesn't do well eating a ton of carbs in these challenges, but it didn't slow her down that much. On the other hand, my regular diet doesn't include too much rice, so anytime I face a challenge with a lot of rice, it can bog me down. I do better with potatoes, in my opinion, because my body is much more accustomed to dealing with me eating lots of them. Perhaps if I switched my normal diet up to include more rice, I wouldn't suffer so badly when I take on these rice-filled challenges. I was already getting flashbacks of the 9-pound burrito toward the end of this one.
Overheated.
Huh?
It overheated.
Ooh. Wow, that was so good. How long was that? Oh, do you have the timer? It's okay, I have the timer right here. I will editing. It's all in the editing. Anyway, oh, that was delicious. Super delicious. Meat all off the bone, really well seasoned. We are at Tang and Noodle House in Rowland Heights, just opened. So come check it out there. And yes, Plaza, I actually grew up around here, so this place is really familiar, really nostalgic coming here. But Nader's almost done with his. What do you think of it so far?
It was great.
Good.
I've never had it before, but I'd get it again. For sure.
There you go. Whew.
Slowly but surely, I was going to get through this. Just a matter of time.
you go.
Yay! Woohoo! Alright, so we are at Tang and Noodle, Rowland Heights. Come out and try it. Big thanks to Freak Eating for coming and joining in with me and trying this out for the first time. Big thanks to Lucky Aki for helping me film, and big thanks to everybody watching, and the owners of Tang and Noodle, obviously. Woo! It's so amazing. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe and enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!
Thank you to Korean Tang and Noodle House for hosting a most delicious banquet for us. Check out Raina's channel linked down below for her version of this challenge, and I'll see you all in the next video. Till we eat again, stay in school, don't do drugs, and eat like a freak.